couldn't even hear me yet. What is going on, guys? It is Heel Turns and High Spots, bringing you guys another AEW Rampage review. We're going to mix in some GCW. We're going to talk a little Impact. We got a lot of stuff to cover today, Char.
Yeah, we do. We got kind of a stacked show here. Definitely excited to get into it. A lot of wrestling from different promotions, which is cool. Not a thing that we see a ton here.
No, so let's get into it. So first, we want to talk about the Impact Rebellion result. And we just want to talk about one match in particular, the Impact World Championship match. Saw Josh Alexander defeat Moose. And now, telling you more of the story, Charlie is going to take it from here.
Yeah, so I'm not sure which pay-per-view it was, but one of their bigger ones, Josh Alexander actually beat, I believe it was Matt Cardona, for the Impact Championship. But then, it might not have been Matt Cardona. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it was him, though. But then Moose did kind of Impact's version of Money in the Bank. He cashed in on Josh Alexander right in front of his wife and kids. His wife and kids came to the ring to like celebrate with Josh Alexander, but Moose cashed in. I don't know what they call it. I'm gonna call it cash in. Josh Alexander cashed in and beat or Moose cashed in and beat Josh Alexander, but Josh Alexander gets his revenge just like that. How about that?
Yeah. I did forget to mention during my part. Like this video, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter. You guys see our Twitters below the photos, and you guys see our podcast Twitter on the bottom of your screen right now. But yeah, so I mean, it's definitely interesting to seeing what Impact is doing compared to the other promotions. But I mean, I wonder what's up next for Impact. I mean, I don't watch Impact. I know you do.
Yeah, so Impact's in a funny place because the best things going on Impact don't involve Impact's wrestlers. Like they had this kind of like Ring of Honor invasion going on, and that was like main event, which didn't involve any of Impact's wrestlers. And now they're getting New Japan wrestlers, people like Jay White, right, and people on the Indies too, like Alex Shelley. The best parts of Impact. Actually, no, Alex Shelley's not signed anymore. The best parts of Impact aren't the wrestlers, so they're kind of in a funny spot. But now they have a babyface world champion. Maybe that can help them out a little bit. You never know.
Yeah, for sure. But do you want to start talking about GCW now?
Yeah, sure. But before I do that, just a quick update on Jonathan Gresham. He actually had to cancel on his match at Rebellion. So what we initially thought was more of like a dink, maybe like some wear and tear is starting to become something maybe a little bit more prolonged, and that world championship that's around his waist eventually is going to become more of a burden for Tony Khan and the boys because they're trying to start this new promotion. They can't have their champion sideline like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. I think we kind of talked about it last Saturday, I believe, right after Battle of the Belts when it happened. I think it's just gonna go through the month for him, and I think he'll be fine after. I think he'll be fine during the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view. He might miss a couple of shows here and there, like that's not for Ring of Honor, but I don't think you're gonna miss him, like see him missing any Ring of Honor show, or Tony Khan would have stripped him already.
No, okay, that's fair. That's completely fair. Cool. Yeah, so now let me get into the GCW show. If you don't follow our Twitter, I went to GCW the OldMe at Harpo's in Detroit, and yeah, it was a great time. Freeman unfortunately couldn't be there with me. I had to go by myself and brave the Detroit streets, but I survived, and this is my story. So actually, when I got there, I was looking for parking, and there's not like necessarily a parking lot behind Harpo's, but there's like a bunch of grass where people park their cars. But there was no more grass left. But the security guard who was there, he was like, just park illegally right here. Like, I'll cover for you. And it was great, dude. So I literally just parked, and I was literally like 20 feet away from the venue. It was incredible. And when the show ended, I just went up. So shout out that guy. that guy made my night so much less stressful because otherwise I would have had to park like a street over in like not a great neighborhood, and that would have been a terrible situation for me in my already beat up car. But yeah, let's get into the card now. So I'm just gonna go over the highlights, I guess. I'll start with Alex Shelley and Nick Wayne. Obviously, you knew from the time the bell rang that Alex Shelley was gonna go over here. Nick Wayne's 16 right now. There were some people in the crowd that were, which I was surprised to hear because Alex Shelley's a hometown guy in Detroit, like from Detroit. Um, Pulling for Nick Wayne, and I was like, sure, okay. It was babyface versus babyface here. Um, but yeah, and I saw some people on Twitter that were kind of upset that Shelley put himself over, or I wouldn't say put himself over, but somebody told Shelley to pin Nick Wayne. But I think it's a fine decision. Alex Shelley is kind of going with a second wind of his career right now. Like we see it with Matt Cardona, and now we're starting to see it with Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley's putting on bangers. He's in pay-per-views. He's in Impact pay-per-views, and kind of not to jump ship a little bit, but I think he'd be a great fit for AEW whenever that time comes. And he said it himself. He wants to be a part of AEW. And Freeman, what do you think? Do you think he's a good fit?
Yeah, I think Alex Shelley would fit great in AEW. I only saw him once at GCW Evil Deeds when we went, but that was my only
Yep.
time I've seen of him. I'm really interested to see what he has, and I can't wait to see what else he has in store.
Yeah, for sure. Just moving on. Next up, well, I'm not sure if it was next up, but next up on my list was Bandido versus Joey Janela. And Joey Janela played super heel, bro. So Joey Janela walks out with a limp, and I was like, "What's going on here? Like, why would like?" He was hardcore selling the limp. He was like, "Whatever, I'll pull through."
Yeah,
And so like he starts to like run the ropes, and then he goes like, "I like my ankle, whatever." So then Bandito comes over to help him, and instantly Joey Janela pounces on him. And the crowd booed the shit out of Joey Janela. Like you've been to a GCW crowd, you
yep.
know how it goes. But yeah, that was a masterclass. I'm sorry, the match was a masterclass of wrestling. It was Bandito and Joey Janela. I know Joey Janela has kind of a bad rap of, kind of schmucking it in matches, not giving his 100%, but in this match in particular, he definitely gave his 100%. There was a really cool spot. You could find it on Twitter under the GCW OldMe hashtag, where he was on the stage here and Bandito was on the ring here, and Joey Janela jumped from here and took a cutter from Bandito in the ring. It was incredible to see. Um, yeah. So next up we had Minoru Suzuki versus Too Cold Scorpio. Obviously, if you watch AEW, you know who Minoru Suzuki is. But
Yep.
Too Cold Scorpio is an ECW or former ECW television champion and a former ECW tag team champion. So he's not a slouch either. They put on a good 10, 12-minute match. It was fun. It was a Minoru Suzuki match. They just chopped each other until one guy took a pin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which kind of not to change the subject here, but I kind of want your input. Are you kind of sick of the Minoru Suzuki match? You
No.
know, the I'm gonna
I
call it the Minoru Suzuki match because it's kind of like the same formula every single time.
yeah.
But continue.
No. I mean, I personally like haven't seen him a lot. He's used kind of sparingly on AEW television. So
Yeah,
realistically, like, right, I've only seen him like 4 times in the past 6 months. So
that's fair.
necessarily when I see him, it's not necessarily the same match to me just because I haven't seen it I haven't seen it over and over again.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay. Well, at least he's a well. I think he comes in tours, right? Like, so he'll be
Yeah.
here for a few months and he'll go back to Japan. So on this tour, especially, I've noticed, from his independent stuff and his AEW stuff, he's had a few matches on AEW these past few months. It's just they just chop each other, and then like I said, then somebody takes a pin. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
like a copy paste thing. But you know what? To his credit, he is old. This kind of seems like a last trip around the earth, but save it for I don't know less important TV slots if you can. That's all I can ask.
Fair enough.
Moving on, I
Yeah.
guess. So at this point is when the hardcore matches started, and I'm not a super hardcore fan. Not necessarily it grosses me out. It's just not really entertaining to me. You know, like Minoru Suzuki, like I just talked about, it's kind of like copy paste the same thing, especially in GCW with the light tubes. You know, they just kind of
Yeah.
like hit each other with the
Yep.
light tubes for like 10 minutes. Then somebody goes through a glass table, then takes a pin.
Fair enough.
So this is when I took a piss, grabbed a beer, and noticed some masked man sitting at the merchandise table. I approached him, and sure as shit, it's Bandido, bro. And nobody's at his merch table, which I found astounding. Like, no, this is fucking Bandido. Like,
Yeah.
so I've never mentioned this on stream before, but for me personally, I know Freeman doesn't agree with me. I would never meet a wrestler if I had to wait in line. Like, I would say like 5 minute line. Like, I'm not waiting in like hour lines to meet. Doesn't even matter. It could be John Cena. Don't matter to me. Like,
I'd
I
wait.
would not.
I'd wait. I think John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, Triple H are the only people I would wait like an hour for. I think everybody else would have to be under 30 minutes for me. If it's over 30 minutes, I don't think I'm waiting.
All right, so let me give you this. In a situation like that, it's more not so like a conversation than it is a forced interaction for them.
Yes, correct.
Because they've been doing it routinely for like 60
Yeah,
minutes. You know
correct.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's the only thing. I've just always been like that, and I've always said, and Freeman can attest to this. You just got to make it quick. Tell them you
Yeah.
appreciate their work, and tell them your favorite match, and that's exactly what I did. I'm not super familiar with Bandido's work. I haven't been following him forever, but I've fallen absolutely in love with him ever since I've discovered him. But kind of a few months after Punk debuted, kind of I would say the summer. Was it last summer?
Yes. Yep.
When did Punk debut? Was it
Last
last
summer.
summer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Last
guess
summer
so.
or
So
last
yeah,
fall.
when he had he had a match against Kenny Omega for the AAA title, and they just tore the absolute house down.
I remember that.
Yep. And ever since then, I've been a huge fan, and he was just such a genuine guy. And I bought a sticker, and yeah, but like I said, I made it quick, and I went out with my day, and I bought a GCW T-shirt. I made a point. I was going to say whoever impressed me the most, I was going to buy a T-shirt from. However, like nobody brought any T-shirts, dog,
No.
except for like Minoru Suzuki, and I was like, Minoru Suzuki doesn't need my money. I was gonna give it to Tony Deppen, actually. I love Tony Deppen. Tony Deppen's the man.
Well, that's what I was gonna say too. Is the thing about like GCW is that when you want to meet like if you want to go get like Bandido's T-shirt, is you have to wait in that
Yeah.
line to go get that T-shirt. So it's like
Well, it's like that's like not 60 minutes though. It's not like going to Comic-Con and waiting in
correct,
line and getting a
correct,
poster
yes,
signature.
yeah.
You know?
But my
Yeah.
point is that like GCW, like when we went, there was that big line. I don't remember who exactly it was for, but there was a big line there, and it's like, well, if you want a T-shirt, you have to go. You might as well talk to him anyway.
Well, yeah, that was for Nick Gage
Okay.
actually. And side point, counter argument, I'd never want to talk to Nick Gage because Nick Gage is a scary motherfucker. But obviously that is not a correct counterpoint. And you're right, Freeman, you're right. And I guess the only thing I would say is if the line's too long, I just wouldn't.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, 100%. But yeah, so I'll just skip around. Like I said, I'm not a huge hardcore guy. I'll just skip to the Briscoes versus SCU in a scaffold match.
Is
They
this
called it a
the
high incident.
image I have for with the Briscoes
Yes.
flying? So I'll show that now.
Yes.
So here I'll let you explain this clip, but or it's not even a clip. This is just a photo of the Briscoes falling. So I'll let you kind of go deeper into that.
Right. So they had everybody get out of their seats so they could get this monstrosity of a thing into place. And so when they got it into place and everybody got back to their seats, it started the match. And the match started with like tables filling the ring, and then another stack of tables on top of those tables. And I was surprised to see that the wrestlers started in the ring, which was odd to me. I thought they were going to start in the scaffold, but excuse me. they started in the ring, and they kind of took like a few high spots. Honestly, at this point, I was getting kind of tired, so I don't remember it too well. But yeah, they took a bunch of spots, and they ended up on the stage somehow. And at this point, I noticed all the other wrestlers that wrestled that night and were able to take a shower at that point were all showered and dressed watching the Briscoes versus SC wrestle. And I thought that was a really, really cool sight. Like, Allie Catch was there, Effie was there, Jordan Oliver, Nick Wayne were all over it. It was like the whole GCW crew was there just to appreciate this match, which was kind of disappointing because the match sucked. But so they're fighting all over the place, and I'm just thinking in my head, how the hell are they gonna work their way up to this scaffold, so somebody can get thrown off of it. And so they fight all the way up to the stage and all the way down, and they're back in the ring, and two guys are laid on the table, and then Matthew Justice and I believe it was Mark Briscoe, the less crazy looking Briscoe. That's how I remember him. Because Jay Briscoe's the super crazy looking Briscoe. Mark is the slightly less crazy looking Briscoe. And they go up, and then at the same time, they both jump. That's the picture that I took. They both jump simultaneously into the table, and it's counted as a draw, which I thought was super strange. And I was definitely under the impression that the scaffold was going to be more involved, but honestly, they were on the scaffold for like maybe 30 seconds. Honestly, they should have just had a death match and just called it good and not wasted our time sitting there for 30 minutes, waiting for this thing to be set up, and we could all gone home early. But anyways, it was a match. It was a hardcore match. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan when they start bringing out the weapons. I'm more of like a singles, professional wrestling kind of guy.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm gonna just kind of talk about the other two images I have here, and then you can kind of inference more of them.
Yeah, just let me know which one's there.
Yeah. So right here we have a clip of Bandido getting on top of the ropes. I tell you what, like that whole stage area in the background looks sick.
Yeah, it was a really, really cool venue to have a wrestling show. They had one a few months ago, but I unfortunately couldn't make it. But I remember the videos. I was like, this kind of looks kind of like a crappy place to have a wrestling show, but it really wasn't that bad. What I will say, though, is that if you're going to do general admission, there's probably about 50 people that are going to be able to see.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. So it's just flat.
Yeah.
And the ring is below general admission. So it's right here. So only pretty much the first row and maybe the second row of people can actually see what's going on. So I actually had to keep like maneuvering my way like around until I could like get a view. But I got there late.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I think the viewers will be able to get a kind of a good look because I played it a couple times for them. And then the next cool shot we got is the picture of the scaffolding match. That stage with the ring right there just looks awesome. Really intimidating.
Definitely.
Yeah, you knew it was going to be a fight right from the get-go.
Yeah, 100%.
So shall we get into Rampage finally? Or did you want to add something before I started talking?
Oh, sure. I'll just close her out really quick, nice and neat. So overall, it was a really fun show to go to, and something that I noticed was when you go to an independent show, it's not like going to a show like WWE or AEW. Not just for the obvious senses, like this was in pretty much a bingo hall, and like AEW is like literally going to Little Caesars Arena.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is there's no storylines that they have to adhere to. So that means every single match is trying to be a 5-star match.
Yeah.
Every single wrestler is working their butt off to be a 5-star match because they're not held down by the chains of telling a story that's long term, right?
Yeah.
Like they're literally just out there putting on matches. Like these matches that I'm telling, like no relation between any of these wrestlers that are wrestling. They're just wrestling. That's it. And if you don't know who's a heel and who's a face, you'll find out within the first minute because they'll let you know. It's pretty obvious.
Yep.
Great stuff all through the
Is.
card.
Yeah. So let's get into Rampage here, shall we?
Yeah.
So in the first match here in the opener, we had Adam Cole taking on Ishii. They started up with a tie-off as almost all AEW matches do. Ishii responded with a shoulder tackle. Cole takes Ishii to the corner, kicks Ishii to the midsection. Ishii comes back with chops. Cole rolls out of the ring. Ishii follows, chops to the on the outside of the ring. Cole moves out of the way, sending Ishii into the ring post. Cole then sends Ishii to the barricade. Cole a little ground and pound. Cole locks in a headlock, but then Ishii just stands up. Neckbreaker to Cole. Ishii punches Cole to the midsection. Cole punches Ishii in the corner. Ishii just stands there and just takes it. Great spot here. Shows Ishii being an intimidating figure on AEW television. Ishii then hits a punch, sending Cole dropping to the mat. Just one punch after Cole's hit about like 5 on him, and he just took it. Ishii hits one on Cole, and Cole immediately drops to the mat. Ishii power slams on Cole, backdrop suplex to Cole for a 2 count. Cole then hits a backbreaker. Now, I was watching Rampage on the TNT app, so I unfortunately could not see pictures. So we go to commercial here. After the break, Ishii hits a superplex for a 2 count. Cole hit a super kick and then hit Ishii on the nose. He lowers the knee pad. Ishii hits a sliding lariat for a 2 count. Cole hits a backbreaker for a 2 count. He super kicks Ishii again, and Ishii just no-sold it. Countering insecurities by both men, great spot. Both men get back up. Ishii headbutts. Cole responds with a super kick, and Ishii hits a huge lariat. Then Jay Wright rolls out. He takes out Rocky Romero on the outside. Cole low blows Ishii, and Cole lowers the boom for the win. Jay White raises Cole's hands, and that is the segment. Great match here between Ishii and Cole. I'm gonna have to give this match a 6 out of 10. But I mean, it is what it is. A okay opener for the show. It kind of gave you a glimpse at what we might see at Forbidden Door, so I like it from that point of view. And I kind of knew Adam Cole was gonna win here. I didn't know Jay White was gonna show up, so that was a nice surprise for the viewers. I guess we did know that Jay White was in the building, though.
He was in the building.
Yeah, we did know he was in the building, but I guess I just didn't think of that.
I was surprised.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. And that's what's like good, I guess, about watching a live tape show is like you forget those things because Wednesday, I mean, Dynamite was on Wednesday, and obviously we're not watching it until Friday. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So just something I want to touch on really quick is the spot where Tomohiro Ishii tries for a sliding lariat, and Adam Cole reverses it with a super kick, and then Tomohiro Ishii reverses the bomb, Adam Cole's power bomb, and then hits his sliding lariat. Just small stuff like that. It's like, okay, so he tried his move, it didn't work. So then he waits for an opening, and then, okay, fine, he gets his move. It is such special stuff. I love to see that, and it's stuff that these New Japan guys are just absolutely experts at. It's like their moveset means a lot to their character. Like, their moveset's probably as important to the wrestler as their actual gimmick is, I'd say, in New Japan.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that front. And it only makes it these characters that much more like protected in a sense.
Yeah.
It makes them that much more important.
Mm-hmm.
After Jay White raises Cole's hands, we get a backstage promo from JHS. They're talking to security. Security guard said, if management says you're not allowed in, you're not allowed in. Not much I can do. Jericho says, this isn't a real thing, okay? Management knows we run this place. This is my show. This is Rampage. I'm so over in Pittsburgh, people cannot wait to see me. So keep this in mind. I make more money than you in one day than it would take for you to make in a year. to so stand there quietly, don't say a word, and let us through, you dig? They try to pass, but like 10 additional security guards show up, and then Daniel Garcia says, don't worry, I've beaten Eddie twice before, and I'll do it again. So tonight I'm a sports entertainer, and I know what I'm going to do. Chris Jericho then says, Garcia, I believe in you. Go kick his ass. He's a piece of trash. And we will leave because we want to. I'm calling HR to complain about you. Great promo. Generated heel heat. Did what it had to do.
It did. It's so funny that Jericho uses like wrestling terms like shoot, promo, over, he uses those words. I think that's hilarious and definitely generates a lot of heat because he's killing the business, god damn it.
I think it's funny that these words are banned in WWE and Jericho's just going out there.
They?
Yeah. Like
well, it makes sense because it actually like does kind of kill the business.
Yeah, so wrestling is banned in WWE. What? Yeah, wrestling is banned in WWE. You're not pro wrestler. You're a sports entertainer. That's why it was a shock when Cody Rhodes, if you listen to my Raw After Mania review, that's why it was a shock that Cody Rhodes said that he was a sport or a pro wrestler because those are usually banned words that wrestlers are not usually allowed to say in AEW. You're not allowed to say belt. And because the belt is something that holds up your pants. So like that's another thing. Like that's kind of Cody Rhodes' gimmick right now in WWE. Like he just says like these banned words. Like he said that, and Miz was like, a belt is to hold up your pants, and then but so that's kind of Cody Rhodes' gimmick right now, and it's a great. I love that because it's like you're bringing kayfabe so close to wrestling. It's great.
Yeah, 100%. And the best wrestling has hints of realism tied to it.
Yeah. But so after this JAS promo, we get a Hook promo with the interviewer. We still can't figure out her name. She's kind of like Batman to a sense in this point. I put that in my notes, by the way. She says, Hook, big win for you on Dynamite, but they turn the corner, and Danhausen is there with a bunch of chips scattered on the ground. He says, chips, eh? You're going to give me a match. Hook then grabs Danhausen, throws him up against the wall, and says, you wanted my attention, you got it. Danhausen was scared shitless, and Hook just walked off.
This was weirdly sexual, was it not? He got really close to him, man.
He did. That was very intimidating. And it's great because everybody loves Hook, but I think that we see Hook kind of come more to the dark side of being a heel, because he is for Team Taz.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see what that journey looks like.
Yeah, I mean, people love Danhausen. Definitely. Nobody's going to boo Danhausen. So he's definitely going to have to play the heel here, and he definitely is playing the heel, which is perfect. Because what you don't want to see is this young up-and-coming wrestler be like, oh, I don't want to be the bad guy. I don't want to be booed. It's good to see that he does not care either way.
Yep. And I mean, and that probably just speaks to the work that Taz have shown him. I mean, having Taz as your dad, I mean, would be beneficial.
Yeah, 100%. Next up, we had Serpentico versus Lance Archer in a squash match, and if you care about the details, I'll give them to you. Definitely not the most important part. So, Serpentico's already in the ring while Lance Archer is making his entrance, and he tries to do a tope, and Lance Archer no-sells it. Lance Archer brings Serpentico into the ring, gives him a big boot, gives him a blackout, and gets a 3 count. And then I would say this is the more important part. Sorry, he does like a choke slam symphony. He gives Serpentico 3 or 4 choke slams, one of the two. Do you have it on your notes?
It was 3 times.
Yep. So 3 choke slams. That sucks for Serpentico. That's 3 tough bumps. And yeah, he does Wardlow's taunts. You know,
Yeah.
which is kind of
Yeah.
becoming like all the big people's taunts. Like Keith Lee does it as well.
Well,
Um,
yeah. I think they're definitely two different ones because obviously Keith Lee's is like bask in his glory, and then Wardlow is just Wardlow. So it's cool to see like these like different the same taunt could be used for two different things.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Wardlow's definitely got a challenge up ahead with Lance Archer. It will be no small task, and Lance Archer definitely will not job to Wardlow either. Lance Archer has been a beast, and he's looked like a beast at all points of his AEW career. So I expect this to be a tough match, a long match, like a 10 minute or 10-15 minute.
What do we see after like the Wardlow versus Lance Archer match? Do we see MJF versus Wardlow?
I don't know. Well, they've got the biggest and the scariest. That's Lance Archer,
Yeah.
right? There's nobody else. They maybe be able to kill one more with Jake Hager. I don't know. I know he's doing his own thing, but they're both heels. They could probably figure it out.
Fair enough.
But after that, I truly don't know.
Yeah.
They'll have to. I don't know if they're trying to go for double or nothing. But if they are, they're definitely gonna have to try to spread this out a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. But do you want to get into the Tony Nese Mark Sterling promo?
Yeah, so basically the gist is that Smart Mark wants to take Tony Nese to the top, and they believe that Tony Nese is the hottest free agent that AEW signed, which obviously is complete baloney. He's probably not even in the top 5 of the best free agents that AEW has signed. But yeah, it was a short pre-tape, and the last line was, Smart Mark sets him up, and I knock their lights out. Tony Nese said that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it did a great job. I really don't think Mark Sterling needs to really be with Jay Cargill anymore. I think Tony Nese is definitely a better idea for Mark Sterling, and you might just want to take Mark Sterling completely away from Jay Cargill and then keep him with Tony Nese permanently.
Yeah, like I've said before, Tony Nese needs more character than I'm a good wrestler.
Yeah.
He needs more of that. He reminds me, and it's not just because they're buff white guys, of Chris Masters. Both good wrestlers, extremely in shape, who had absolutely no character to them.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah. I love Tony Nese, though. His match with Swerve Strickland on Rampage a few weeks ago was incredible, and to me, I was more impressed with him, Tony Nese, than I was Swerve Strickland. So I'm a Tony Nese fan. I just need some more character out of him for sure.
Yeah, fair enough. I can't wait to see what's next for them. I mean, obviously, he's gonna fight somebody either on Wednesday this week or on Friday, but
yes, and I think they're trying to set up a Hook match, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, yep. So that's probably what it's gonna be, Hook versus Tony Nese. But I mean, obviously, Hook's gonna go over though. So
yeah, which sucks for Tony Nese because he needs a big win. But
yeah, that's kind of a bad booking decision there.
Yeah, but does Tony Nese need a win? Like they don't.
No.
I know I just said he needs a win, he only needs a win if they're getting ready to start a story. Like they can push his story 3 weeks down the line, and he can lose the Hook next week, and then 3 weeks later, everybody will forget about it.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So let's get into the Daniel Garcia versus Eddie Kingston. I'll call it a fight. I don't even want to call it a match. It was more of a fight. So they start with strikes in the ring, with Eddie Kingston getting the advantage, obviously, because the more pissed off babyface is always going to get over the heel in the beginning of a match with a lot of heat to it. Eddie Kingston pounds on Daniel Garcia in the corner with chops and knees and brings the fight to the outside, throws Daniel Garcia around like a rag doll, like through the barricade and the steps, whatnot. And then Daniel Garcia trips Eddie Kingston into the steps, and Eddie Kingston rolls into the ring. Daniel Garcia beats down Eddie Kingston with knees to the body, and they strike in the ring. They throw strikes in the ring, and Daniel Garcia works Eddie Kingston into the corner and bites his face. Eddie Kingston turns around, does the same thing to him. Then Garcia moves the fight to the outside and shoves Eddie Kingston into the ring post. And through picture-in-picture, Daniel Garcia chops and knees Eddie on the outside before rolling him back in with rolling him back in the ring and hitting a standing senton. Sorry. After a cool Irish whip spot, I honestly didn't think they were going to pull it off when I first saw it. So Daniel Garcia, they were kind of close to the edge of the ring. They were inside of the ring, kind of close to the edge. And Daniel Garcia starts to whip Eddie Kingston to the other side. And Eddie Kingston reverses it. And I didn't think they were going to have enough room to pull it off. If you go back and look for it, you'll definitely know what I'm talking about. It'll stick out like a sore thumb. But Eddie Kingston, the veteran that he is, he pulls it off like nothing, man. It was great. Just goes to show that Eddie is like a gem that has just now been found, that's been with us forever. Because, he's been wrestling for a while, and he's just now getting on TV the past, 2 years? That's crazy to think about. This dude's amazing.
Yeah, I totally forgot to mention this when we started the show, Charlie. But our kicks and mid-air counter, by the way, is 1, and we still have yet. I don't think we saw any more kicks to mid-air in the show.
Okay, I didn't see any.
So yeah, I think it's gonna stay at 1 for this episode. But you see it there at the bottom. I did forget to turn that on at the beginning, so it's on now. But
perfect.
We do got to update. We do got to keep the viewers update on that.
Yes, 100%, because it's happening all the time, left and right.
It is.
So Kingston looks for the exploder. We get reverse it into a stretch, kind of like something that you would see William Regal do. So we get reversed into the stretch, and Daniel Garcia hits elbows inside of the stretch and hits a German suplex inside of the stretch, which is really cool. Daniel Garcia is a beast. I love him, and he's going to be amazing once he grows into his body a little bit more. And he can start, lift a little bit heavier, can actually start to work with heavier people. He's going to be incredible. So Daniel Garcia stops on Eddie Kingston in the corner and goes for a knee, but gets reversed into an elbow. And Daniel Garcia locks in the Boston Crab, and Eddie Kingston makes it the ropes instantly. You know how I love that.
Yep.
When they reach their feet, Eddie Kingston hits an eye poke. Does an eye poke, I'll say. An enziguri and an exploder combo. And Eddie Kingston reverses a single leg. So Daniel Garcia, for everybody who knows amateur wrestling, he reverses a single leg with a backdrop suplex and hits a spinning back fist for the win. And what I loved about this fight is that Eddie Kingston was trying to make it a fight. Daniel Garcia was trying to wrestle, but Eddie Kingston was trying to fight. So if you notice, when Eddie Kingston has the advantage, it's move, instant, bam, bam, bam. But when Daniel Garcia has the advantage, he's slowing it down. He's working technical. So it's good to see how Eddie Kingston is the one who's pissed off right now, and it's showing inside of their matches together.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Eddie Kingston, especially ever since Full Gear, and even if you want to go all the way back to All Out, the man has been on a tear this year.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Eddie's a beast.
Yeah, Eddie is a beast, and that spinning back fist is so deadly.
Yes. It looks so much better than Jericho's.
Yeah, it does.
So
100%.
much better than Jericho's.
Jericho's is the Judas effect, isn't it?
It is, but isn't it essentially the same thing?
It is.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Jericho's looks like literal dog shit. Eddie's looks fucking incredible.
Yeah. No, you're right. So after you finished, you finished.
You're good.
Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland, and Team Taz promo. So we got Keith Lee says, Keith Lee was kind of mad during this promo. He said, I heard you, you were so entertained by it. The reality of it, Taz tarnished the battle when he got involved. I want to demolish Team Taz. Short and sweet here, we got to the point. Swerve, as you could tell my man Keith Lee is mad. Kelvin and Hobbs were going to pay you back in blood. You may have won the match, but the war is far from over.
Kelvin and Hobbs.
I like that. I think more teams should use that.
That's hilarious.
It is hilarious. Swerve, I'm sorry. Ricky and Hobbs on commentary says, Ricky Stark says, War, are you kidding me? You don't want the smoke with Team Taz. We finish the job every single time. We have a check with your name on it, and we plan to cash it out. It did the job.
Yeah, it 100% did the job. I actually missed this segment because I was using a 100% legal stream that's 100% legal, and it didn't have this segment for whatever reason.
That's why you got to watch it on the TT app.
I can't because whenever this is a tangent, but I'll get into it. So I can either choose to log in on my TV or my computer. For some reason, it won't let me do both, and I can't just keep logging back and forth because it sends an activation code to my dad, and I don't want to keep bugging my dad every day for the code.
I just keep bugging my dad every day for the code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my reason why I didn't watch that.
Fair enough. But yeah, great promo between the two. I was kind of hoping that we would see them move on to like some different things, maybe some singles matches, but obviously that is not the case. We're going to continue forward with this feud and obviously get another match out of it.
Yeah, and what's the craziest part is these are all singles guys,
yeah.
Right? And they're putting, at least in my opinion, I can't remember which tag match I thought it was better than, but I remember you were shocked by it. Oh, you know what it was? It was Jurassic Express and Red Dragon. I thought that Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland, and Team Taz put on a better match than the AEW World Tag Team Championship. So these guys can all go. I love this feud and keep working with each other. It's working great. Except I have one flaw. I just don't want to see Hobbs bump as much as he is. I think we can't be burying Haas for the sake of Keith Lee. We can figure out a way to do this with them both looking good for sure.
Yeah, we definitely can. It doesn't need to be this this thing where we, like you were talking about when we bury one of the guys. I think all four men in this can get over.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you want to go into the Britt Baker, Tony Storm, and Jamie Hayter promo?
Yeah, 100%. So this was in reference to the Owen Cup, Owen Hart Cup World Championship. I don't know what they're calling it. Women's side, and it was Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Jamie Hayter, and Tony Storm backstage with Tony Schiavone. And Tony Storm and I hate when wrestlers do this, and I just have to call it out every time because it makes me upset. Tony Storm asked Britt Baker what she's done, other than be a women's champion. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. So
that's like asking a president, what have you done besides be the president?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? That makes no sense. At least to me. And says she'll face Jamie Hayter in the first and Britt probably later on, and then wanders off. And then Jamie Hayter's like, yeah, she does that. I'm glad that Tony Storm got a mic time, though. Even though what she said didn't make sense, I'm glad she got some mic time.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll see her kind of thrive in this Owen Hart tournament, and hopefully see some storylines developing for her, because we really haven't seen much for her.
So we have a debacle.
Would
you rather see Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter or Tony Storm versus Britt Baker?
I think we get both.
We can't, because it's Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter in the first round.
You're right. So I think we see I think Tony Storm wins it. I'm going to be honest. And I think we see Tony Storm versus Britt Baker.
I think Tony Storm, like you said, wins by some fuck shit. Britt Baker will help her out. But it's kind of like the Hunger Games thing. It's like, why are you making alliances with people that you're going to eventually have to, backstab?
Yeah. Yep.
So, whatever, though. They'll figure out a way. But yeah, I think, and don't quote me on this because I'm not 100% sure, Jamie Hayter probably wins this upcoming match against Tony Storm.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. So then we get...
So, just for the record, quote Austin. Don't quote me.
Oh, I see. Throwing it on me. Not taking any accountability.
Right.
So after this, we get to Jade and the Marina Shafir promo. Mark Henry says, Jade, after tonight, you could be 30-0. Don't you think Marina deserves your respect tonight? And Jade says, who? Mark, handle this. Mark Sterling says, originally I was concerned with MMA and black belt. I have a black belt too. I bought it on Amazon for $20. I want to talk about the celebration, and balloons will rain from the ceiling. The plan is in place. Marina Shafir said, problems, don't care about plans, Mark. Problems. Jade said, I'm the problem in this division. You're going to have to solve me. Marina, whatever your name is. And then Mark Henry said, it's time for the main event.
It's time for the main event.
Yeah, hey, it did its job. Got y'all hyped up for the main event.
It always does.
Yeah.
These things are just a way to get viewers who aren't familiar with the stories be like, oh, that's the good guy.
Yep, exactly. Marina starts off kicking Jade Cargill in the leg. Jade tosses Marina, making it look easy. Clothesline to Marina outside. Jade then sends Marina straight into the barricade, and the baddies start taking it to Marina as Mark Sterling was taking attention off of the referee. Marina tosses Jade into the ring. Jade with a back elbow, high stack kick out. Jade taunting Marina. Marina then hit a cartwheel. Marina landed a cartwheel. I don't know why. Hits the knee of Jade. Locks in the guillotine. Jade counters by slamming Marina for a 2 count. After the picture-in-picture, Marina hip tosses and a kick to the back. Marina puts Jade in a knee bar. Jade gets to the ropes. After that, she rolls to the outside. Sterling gets taken out by Marina Shafir. The story of the match here was definitely the legs of Jade Cargill.
But was it?
I think so.
I'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I'll speak on that later.
Jade, you made me, Jade anyway throws Marina into the apron. Jade throws Marina through the timekeeper's table. Jade dumps Marina back into the ring. Then after a moment with the baddies, Jade then pins Marina for a 2 count. Marina puts Jade in a calf slicer. Jade kicks out, and then Jaden. Oh, she hits Jaden for the 3 and the win. Money falls from the sky and balloons that we saw on Wednesday. If you guys did not see the balloons, you guys obviously are not following us on Twitter, or you guys do not have the alerts turned on, so you definitely should be. And that is how we end our AEW Rampage.
Yeah, so like I said about a minute ago, I have a few gripes with this match. I'm a huge Jade Cargill fan. My lovely girlfriend, is a huge Jade Cargill fan. I wouldn't say huge. She acknowledges her presence. But she did not sell that leg at all. She did not sell that leg. I don't know if she forgot.
No. I was talking about Jade Cargill.
I know. Jade Cargill didn't sell that leg.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, she did not. I don't know if she forgot. I don't know if Bryan Danielson didn't teach her how to sell body parts yet. But yeah, she wasn't selling that leg at all. Marina Shafir, all of her offensive moves. I don't want to say all. I would say 80% of her offensive moves were directed to the legs, and there wasn't even a limp after the match. She was like, "Oh, I'm okay. All of her moves did nothing to me." Burying Marina Shafir, which I'm fine with. I'm not a huge Marina Shafir fan, at all. But yeah, Jade Cargill definitely needs to work on her selling of a limb, definitely, because it's important when telling a story for sure.
Yeah, I hope this is the last time we see Marina Shafir in AEW, and I hope. I don't know what happens after this. Jade Cargill's 30-0 now, and there's only so many more girls in this division.
Yeah, we were speaking on this a few episodes ago. I think what you were saying is right. I think we do have a champion versus champion thing get set up here.
Yeah,
And I think Jade goes over.
yeah, I don't know. I honestly think Jade Cargill is gonna lose the championship here soon, and then go into the AEW for the AEW actual women's title. Just because,
Okay.
I mean, what's left as TBS championship right now? Nothing.
Yeah, yeah. They kind of sped through this one. Let me check AEW.com really quick. I'm gonna see how many days she's been champion because
Yeah,
she really did kind of like
speed through it.
be like really fast. So if you wouldn't mind, could you entertain them for like 30 seconds?
Yeah. But yeah. We do.
I guess you can't.
I guess I can't. I don't got anything off the top of my head. But anyway, as I was gonna say, we post Rampage on Sundays. We post big news on Sundays. We post indies on Sundays, and then our AEW pre-show will be on Wednesday, as well as our AEW Dynamite review on Thursday. So we're posting a lot of great content here. We even have a TikTok channel if you're into that. So a lot of great stuff for the channel for you guys.
Yeah, I just googled that Jade Cargill has been champion for 107 days. But like what Freeman was saying, we have a TikTok account, and I'll be posting clips of the GCW show on our TikTok account. So definitely look forward to those. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Treat each other with respect and support independent wrestling.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Click a like on the video. And follow us on Twitter, guys, for up-to-date information. We will see you guys on Wednesday for the pre-show. Stay safe. Treat each other with respect, as Charlie just said. Stay safe. We'll see you on Wednesday.